I'll be discussing about the Sony Imaging Edge app for all your Sony cameras and some of the pros and cons of using this app. So with this app itself, there are some of the difficulties of connecting the actual camera to the app itself. And I've had a different video on how to connect your phone to the app itself by turning off your cellular data. When I turned off my cellular data, I had no problem connecting, but there were some still minor issues with connecting the phone to your camera because the camera would turn off or it would say it still couldn't connect or stuff like that. So there's still some issues with the app itself and the camera. What I really like about using this app is the fact that you're able to use this app to see what's going on with your camera, whether you have your flipped in or flipped out screen. So you're able to see what's going on with your camera and what it's filming to make sure that you're getting the right shot. However, some of the issues with using this app is the fact that you get a lot of lag when you move away from the camera. The way your camera connects to your phone is through Bluetooth, and if you're in the wild, you're obviously going to only use Bluetooth, because if you're at home, you definitely could use your Wi-Fi, which I don't recommend because it's kind of like a weirder connection to the phone. But anyways, when you're outside and you have no Wi-Fi, you use Bluetooth. I saw that there was a lot of lag when I was using my Imaging Edge app, because every time when I would try to walk away from my camera about 2-3 feet, it would start lagging for the image on the phone. So what I do is I would have to try to turn my body to the actual camera and try to connect to the camera itself with the phone. But it is still a good app. I would say it's better for photos than actual recording videos on your camera, because obviously when you want to get that one specific shot, it's going to be very, very difficult. Another con of using the Sony Imaging Edge app is the fact that Imaging Edge app, you have to turn off your cellular data, so you're not going to be able to receive any phone calls or texts while you're using the app to connect to your phone. So the fact that you're not able to connect your phone and your camera at the same time and be able to receive a phone call means that you have to make sure you have that specific time of when you're going to be using that camera and your phone together, and remember to turn it back on once you're finished, because sometimes you might forget to turn it off, and every time when someone tries to call you, it's going to go to busy and you won't notice until you actually find that out, maybe the next morning or whatever it may be. So you have to make sure that every time when you turn off your cellular data, you turn it back on after your phone session. Like I mentioned before, the camera and the phone use Bluetooth to connect to each other. So that means the camera has a transmitter which sends information to your phone, and then your phone sends information to your camera, and you're able to download images and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of transmitter they use in the Sony ZV-E10. Most likely, if you have a better camera, maybe they have a better transmitter. But when I use the Sony ZV-E10, like I said, there's a lot of lag when it comes to using your camera, because with that lag, you're trying to move 1 or 2 feet, it's not gonna basically sync up until you wait for maybe about 2 minutes, or you have to make sure your camera or your phone is all the way in front of it, so you're able to get like that reception from your phone to your camera, or your camera to your phone, and so it's able to split that information. In the future, I think that Sony should be able to update their app so it's much more easier for consumers to use the app, because every time when you use the app, there's so many instructions that you have to follow to make sure you're connecting your camera properly to the phone itself. And there aren't a lot of instructions for how to use that, because every time when you go onto forums and stuff like that, people have no clue, and you just have to keep looking for the right answer. You just have to keep experimenting until you find the perfect answer to whether you're connecting, how to use it, making sure your transmission is proper. It's a lot of time consumption when you're trying to use your phone to your camera and try to find the right proper instructions to how to do it properly so your phone doesn't disconnect or having bad reception or whatever it may be using the Bluetooth. There's a lot of pros and cons to using this app, but I think there's a lot of potential for this app to be improved. So I hope Sony is able to improve this app and update it as much as possible. If they're able to update the firmware for your camera and your Bluetooth, and you're able to connect much more better and it's a lot more smoother, I think it's going to be a lot more better for consumers to use in the future. Anyways, this is my opinion on this camera app and the Imaging Edge app and me using the Sony ZV-10. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or like this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also click the links in the description below. It doesn't hurt, and I'll see you guys for our next video. Peace out, y'all.